Hello everyone, and welcome back to this channel. My name is Rebecca. I talk a lot about books and some lifestyle things here on this channel, and today we're here for a more lifestyle type video, and that is about my skincare. Now, I went off the pill last summer, and ever since then I've been pretty much struggling with my skin. So I'm not going to say in this video that I beat acne, because I definitely haven't. I think I've found a way to manage my acne, so I just wanted to share with you how I'm doing that, because sometimes I have phases where my skin is better and sometimes I have phases where it's worse. It's more about managing it than actually getting rid of it, because I think getting rid of it time will tell. Before we begin, I want to talk about the type of issues that I am having, because I think that's the foundation for talking about products. After I went off the pill, I gave my skin about 3 to 4 months to kind of just see what it was going to do, and what I noticed then was that it was getting gradually worse. My skin would usually have like 1 or 2 really bad cystic pimples when I was ovulating, but I also went off the pill in one of the most stressful phases of my life, which is probably not the smartest thing to do, because I was working in lab for my master thesis, and that was just incredibly stressful. So my skin got a lot worse before it got a little better, and so I went to the dermatologist and talked to them about everything. Now, they gave me a few recommendations on what to do. Number one, to have a lot less dairy. Since I had an eating disorder a few years back, I can't really just restrict something completely out of my diet. So I've just been trying to reduce that. And they also said to reduce stress, and that at the time was unfortunately not possible. What I started doing then was going to a beauty specialist or cosmetician every 6 weeks. And what they do is basically they take a needle to my skin, and then they kind of just take out any kinds of blackheads or whiteheads that I have on my face. It's basically professional pimple popping, just in a much safer way. And I have that done about every 6 weeks, and I had that done yesterday, so my face today is very inflamed because, of course, your skin doesn't really like getting poked. So that's why today actually my skin is not as good as it has been the past few weeks. In the meantime, I started changing my skincare routines, tried to adapt to it, because of course I am exfoliating a lot more, I'm using more aggressive products than before, but at the same time I have to make sure that my skin barrier is still protected even though we're using more aggressive products. I'm just going to talk about the products first and then go through a typical morning or evening routine with you, because I think that makes it a lot more helpful. For cleansers, I have 3 different cleansers. I have this one, and this one. Why do I have 3 different cleansers? This is a cleanser that I can get very cheaply in a German drugstore, and this is an oil cleanser. I usually use this to take off my makeup. So I don't use this every evening because I don't wear makeup every day, but when I do, I like to use this because it helps me get off my mascara, because I use waterproof mascara and I need something that's just makes it easy for it to get off. I usually don't like the way my skin feels after I use my oil cleanser, because it does feel like it's still kind of sticky on the skin. So what I do use every evening is this cleanser, and this is a salicylic acid cleanser. Now, I think in the States you can easily get a CeraVe cleanser, for example, that has salicylic acid. I also have that cleanser that is in my shower. I use that on my body actually for my back, because I have some issues there too. But for my face, I use this one because I just found that it's a little more gentle than the one from CeraVe. Now, in the States, I also found this cleanser. I got it there because this was a travel size and I was traveling in the States, and this is the Foaming Facial Cleanser by CeraVe. And what I really liked about this one is that it's just super gentle. So I actually like to use this in the morning because I do sweat a lot in my sleep. It has helped me in the past to cleanse my face in the morning. Sometimes I'll just use water, but I like to use this oftentimes, and this is super gentle, so I like to use this. Now, those are the cleansers. Let's move on to toners, and there is really only one toner on the list. This is a brand called No Makeup, and I'm not sure if you can get it outside of Germany, but it's called the 120-Hour Liquid Hydrator, and this is basically a toner that hydrates your face. I'm not a person that really likes to use hyaluronic acid, because I feel like hyaluronic acid only has a temporary effect. It's more plumping while you're using it, but not necessarily has a long effect. So I like using this because I feel like my skin really does get hydrated with this. I really like this product. It's my only toner that I have, because you don't really have to use toner, but it's also one of the hydrating products that I use on my face. That brings us to serums and actives, but I'm going to divide those into 2 different groups. I'm going to start with exfoliants. over here, I have an exfoliant. This is an AHA exfoliant. This is by Colibri Skincare, also a brand I'm not sure you can get outside of Germany. This has been the AHA that I have found is most calm on my skin because I feel like a lot of other AHAs can be very aggressive on my skin. I do have to say that I do not use this very often. I think I use this only every 2 weeks because I found that salicylic acid has a better effect on my skin than AHAs actually do. So I only use this maybe once every 2 weeks and not so often. My favorite salicylic acid cleanser is actually a drugstore cleanser, also found here in Germany. It's called the Liquid Refiner, also from the company No Makeup. This is also a product that is not that expensive, which of course makes it much easier for me to use. I've used the Polychoice one before that, but they reformulated it and I didn't like it anymore, and so I tried this and I really enjoy this product. I do feel like it has a very calming effect on my skin as well, even though it does exfoliate, because I feel like it does seep deeper into the skin. When I'm noticing that I do have some pimples that are starting to get very aggressive, this can actually calm them down a bit, so of course I'm enjoying this product very much. Another product over here that is an acid, but not necessarily an exfoliating acid, is this one right here, which is a brightening booster. This contains azelaic acid, so it is also a bit aggressive on the skin, but not too much. What this actually helps with is skin texture as well as redness. Of course, if you're having acne scars on your face, you're going to have quite a bit of redness, so I try to use this also in my routine, but I also don't use this as often as the Liquid Refiner. Now, the Liquid Refiner I will use once to twice a week, and this also, same as the AHA, I'll use once every 2 weeks. Take into this list, because it's more aggressive, it's not necessarily an exfoliant, is a retinoid. And this one is actually a prescription retinoid that I got from my dermatologist, so I do recommend that you talk to your dermatologist if you're having a lot of acne issues. They can prescribe a retinoid for you that is usually more aggressive than the ones that you can get over the counter. Now, this took quite a bit to integrate into my routine because it is very aggressive and it does peel my skin very quickly. They originally told me to use it every day, and I cannot use it every day. I'm still only using it about twice a week, not much more than that, especially on some weeks when I use it in combination with this, or I use this once and then 2 days later I use this, my skin will just peel right off. So I have to be very careful and very mindful of like the balance between these two. And that's also why I'm using my AHA a lot less than other people might use it. I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not sure how much this has helped me. Maybe it would help me more if I actually could use it every single day, but my skin gets so raw and has so many issues that I just don't like doing it. So then we come to the next group of products. Now, I'm going to mention some here that I just ordered and that I'm really excited about. So I'm going to talk about like barrier boosting products now. When you're using a lot of aggressive products, which I am right now because I'm using retinoid, salicylic acid, a lot of things, you really have to be very mindful of keeping your skin barrier thick, because that's gonna also give you issues if you don't do that. So what I started out with was this little product, also from Colibri Skincare. I had heard many good reviews about this and I really, really love this product. This is called the Barrier Booster, and it is exactly just that. It's not a lot, you only get a tiny amount on your skin, but truly just putting that on in the evenings completely changed my life. What I've also ordered now to hydrate and to protect my skin is a glycerin serum, because like I said, I don't like salicylic acid, so glycerin serums can be very helpful to get more hydration onto your face. And I also ordered a ceramide serum, which ceramides are very good in boosting the barrier in your face as well. And so I've ordered both of those to kind of like improve my barrier even further. But those have not arrived yet and I have not tested them yet. The company that I wanted to buy them from just had a sale, so I've been watching and eyeing them forever, and now I finally just bit the bullet and just got it. There are 2 more products that I use every single day because they aren't very aggressive but still have great active ingredients, and one of that is my niacinamide booster. Now, I looked high and low for a good niacinamide booster because I feel like a lot of them have really weird textures, and this is the one which texture I really, really love. I put this on every morning and every evening, and I actually feel like this is the first niacinamide that has made a big difference with my skin. What this helps with essentially is the production of oil. It just kind of helps with keeping my skin just a little bit clearer and just making sure that I don't produce as much oil as I could, because I can produce a lot of oil. So this has helped a lot over time. Another product that I use every single day is this vitamin C, and I use this every single morning before I put on my cream. This also helps with dark spots on the face, and it's also supposed to help your sunscreen to basically work better. I'm going to talk about my creams last. So one cream I have here is the 120 Hours Hyper Moisture Hydration Cream, which is by the same company as a few of these other products, which is the No Makeup. And this one I really, really like. It's a very light cream, so for people who do, like me, have oily or combination skin, this is a fantastic cream because it really truly hydrates the skin very much, but it's so nice and light that it doesn't feel like your skin is like just blocked at every single turn, which is super, super helpful. So I especially like wearing this in the morning. Now that we're going into summertime or warmer times of the year, I'm probably going to also use this in the evening. However, in winter, a cream that I really enjoyed was the All Barrier cream by the same company. This is also a cream that has a lot of ceramides. It's great for your barrier, as it says. And in cold weather, this was fantastic. So last but not least, I of course have a sunscreen, and I have to be honest, I find sunscreen so unbelievably difficult. But from this company, this Acne Sit Control SPF 50 was actually one of the ones that I liked. It is quite thick and it does make you quite shiny, so I apply this and then I wait about 20 minutes and then I kind of dab myself off with another tissue to take off the edge of shiny that I do get during that time. But it's also kind of a treatment, so it also has some AHA and BHA in here, so it's slightly treating your face as well as having sunscreen. What I don't like about this product is that it's made in such a small amount. This is only 40 ml, and if you apply sunscreen correctly, this is not enough. So I have to order this quite often and it's not super cheap, so I'm still on the hunt for another sunscreen, but this company thankfully just had a sale, so at least I could buy some new stuff from there. So in a morning routine, I mentioned I do wash my face in the morning, so I use this little gentle foaming cleanser. What I like using right after cleansing is my little liquid hydrator, my toner. It just gives a lot more hydration on my face, so I just really enjoy this, and hydration also means that my skin hopefully doesn't have to produce more oil, so I kind of try to stick to this. What I use after that product is my vitamin C. I apply this directly after that. I put one pump into my hands and just pat it onto my face. And when I've applied my vitamin C, I will then apply my niacinamide booster right behind it. And then I let it dry just a little bit more, but not completely. And then I'll just put on my moisturizer for the day, which is the light one that I like to use. Now, of course, I still apply my sunscreen afterwards, especially when I'm planning on leaving the house. I put a crap ton of sunscreen on. If I'm not leaving the house, I will still put some sunscreen on. I just don't put as much on. So then let's go through my night routine. And depending on if I had makeup, I'll use my oil cleanser and my salicylic acid cleanser. If I don't have any makeup on that day, I'll just use my salicylic acid cleanser. Now, in the evening is my time for active ingredients, but I still use this as a base, so I always put on my liquid hydrator before that. If I'm having an evening where I use my retinol, so where I'm using this, I will usually first apply my barrier booster underneath the retinol, then apply the barrier booster, and then use this cream, even if it's summer, because the retinol can really screw with your barrier, and sandwiching it in between these two barrier boosters has been very helpful for me so far. When I use my salicylic acid, I'll use this liquid hydrator, the salicylic acid afterwards, and I usually combine my salicylic acid with niacinamide. I just, for some reason, like the combination very much. If it's winter, I will apply the barrier booster and then the cream, and if it's summer, I'll just put on this lighter cream. With either of these, I will use my liquid hydrator, then use one of these, and then I will always apply my barrier booster on top just to be sure that even if they're exfoliating, my barrier is still working well and everything's okay with it, and then apply this cream. Depending on what I use, I will use different products with them. Niacinamide thankfully can be combined with a lot of the products anyway, so even if I'm using an exfoliator, I'll very often just slap this niacinamide on top and just be done with it and then use a cream. But I try not to overdo it with products, and usually if I'm using my retinoid, I try to take like a day break between retinoid and acid, or retinoid and using the retinoid again, just to make sure that I'm not like overloading my barrier, because my skin is kind of sensitive that way. Like I said, I wouldn't say that my acne is cleared, and depending on my phase, so whenever I'm really stressed, which I just have been a lot in the past 6 months, my skin is just really bad, and I found that, and it's kind of sad that it is the way it is. So I just try to manage it in between, and I'm hopeful that I don't have a bad batch again in the future. But I know this is a lot of an intense amount of products. If you only have a very small budget and you don't want to buy a wide range of products, I would recommend you get a salicylic acid. If you're dealing with oily combination skin that is prone to acne, this is really, really essential. You should definitely invest in something that will hydrate your face. It could be something like this. It could be a glycerin, something else. That's also super, super important to get enough hydration onto your face. And I would also recommend a niacinamide and a barrier booster, because like I said, if you're using aggressive products, maybe you also have a retinoid by a dermatologist, maybe you're just using salicylic acid a lot, you do have to make sure that your barrier is protected. So getting a barrier booster or something, or ceramides or something in that direction, or a cream that has a lot of ceramides is also good, and some niacinamide is going to be helpful. All of this other stuff is kind of also just because I enjoy skincare, so I just have a lot of products. Not all of them are super essential. Let me know in the comments if you've been dealing with similar issues or have in the past, and how you dealt with everything. I'm also super open to hearing your tips and what you think about skincare, or what you're thinking about how you manage your acne. Just let me know in the comments. I'm super excited to hear from you, and we will see each other soon. Bye.